Welcome back everyone. Today we're dissecting the latest numbers from Alkyl Amines Chemicals Limited. They're a key player in the specialty chemical space, so this should give us some good insights into that sector.
Absolutely. Alkyl Amines Chemicals Limited is known for its wide range of amine-based chemicals, catering to various industries like pharmaceuticals, agrochemicals, and water treatment. It's a company that's been around for a while, headquartered in Mumbai.
Alright, so they've released their audited financial results. What period are we looking at, and when did the board sign off on these? And are we looking at standalone or consolidated figures today?
We are looking at the audited financial results for Alkyl Amines Chemicals Limited for the fourth quarter and the full financial year ended March 31, 2025. The Board of Directors approved these results at the meeting held on May 9, 2025. The documents provided detail the financial performance of the company, Alkyl Amines Chemicals Limited, and there aren't separate consolidated financials presented in this specific report. So our discussion will focus on these company-level figures.
Got it. So let's kick things off with the top line. How did Alkyl Amines perform in terms of revenue from operations for the fourth quarter? Give us the year-over-year picture first.
Okay, for the fourth quarter of financial year 2025, that's the quarter ended March 31, 2025. Alkyl Amines reported revenue from operations of 386.05 crore rupees. Comparing this to the same quarter last year, Q4 FY24, where they had revenues of 356.62 crore rupees, that's an increase of about 8.25%. So a decent year-over-year growth in revenue for the quarter.
An 8.25% growth year-over-year for Q4. And what about sequentially? How does this Q4 revenue compare to the preceding quarter, Q3 of FY25?
Sequentially, comparing Q4 FY25 to Q3 FY25, where revenues were 371.20 crore rupees, the Q4 revenue of 386.05 crore rupees shows a growth of about 3.99%. So positive momentum both year-over-year and quarter-over-quarter on the revenue front.
That's good to see. Now for the full financial year 2025, what was the revenue picture?
For the full financial year ended March 31, 2025, the revenue from operations stood at 1,571.82 crore rupees. This is up from 1,440.61 crore rupees in FY24, marking a year-over-year growth of 9.11% for the full year.
Okay, moving down the income statement. Let's talk about EBITDA, or earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization. I know it's not always explicitly stated, but can we derive it? How did that look for Q4 FY25 year-over-year?
Yes, we can derive the EBITDA. For Q4 FY25, the derived EBITDA comes out to approximately 77.13 crore rupees. Comparing this to Q4 FY24, where the derived EBITDA was about 71.41 crore rupees, that's a year-over-year increase of around 8.01%.
An 8% year-over-year jump in Q4 EBITDA. And sequentially, from Q3 FY25?
Sequentially, the derived EBITDA for Q4 FY25 at 77.13 crore rupees is slightly down by about 0.18% from Q3 FY25's derived EBITDA of 77.27 crore rupees. So a marginal dip quarter-over-quarter for EBITDA.
Interesting. And for the full year FY25, what was the derived EBITDA growth?
For the full financial year 2025, the derived EBITDA was approximately 320.88 crore rupees, which is a solid 20.81% increase compared to 265.61 crore rupees in FY24.
Now let's look at profit before tax, or PBT. What are the numbers there for Q4 year-over-year?
For profit before tax in Q4 FY25, the company reported 59.35 crore rupees. This is up from 53.34 crore rupees in Q4 FY24, representing a year-over-year growth of 11.26%.
And quarter-over-quarter for PBT?
Sequentially, the PBT of 59.35 crore rupees in Q4 FY25 is slightly up by 0.51% compared to 59.05 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So pretty stable on that front sequentially.
And the full year PBT growth?
For the full year FY25, PBT stood at 248.64 crore rupees, a significant increase of 22.80% from 202.47 crore rupees in FY24.
Strong PBT growth for the full year. What about the bottom line, profit after tax or PAT? How did that fare in Q4 on a year-over-year basis?
The profit after tax for Q4 FY25 was 46.02 crore rupees. This is a healthy increase of 19.69% compared to 38.45 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
A near 20% PAT growth year-over-year for the quarter is quite good. How about the sequential PAT growth, Q4 versus Q3?
Quarter over quarter, the PAT of 46.02 crore rupees in Q4 FY25 showed a growth of 5.16% compared to 43.76 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So good sequential growth there as well.
And for the full year FY25, what was the PAT performance?
For the full financial year 2025, PAT came in at 186.11 crore rupees. This is a strong 25.02% increase from 148.87 crore rupees in FY24. So, a really robust performance on the net profit front for the full year.
That translates to earnings per share, or EPS. What was the basic EPS for Q4 year-over-year?
The basic EPS for Q4 FY25 was 9.00 rupees per share. This is up 19.68% from 7.52 rupees per share in Q4 FY24, mirroring that strong PAT growth.
And sequentially for basic EPS?
Sequentially, the basic EPS of 9.00 rupees in Q4 FY25 is up 5.14% from 8.56 rupees in Q3 FY25.
And the full year basic EPS?
For the full year FY25, basic EPS stood at 36.40 rupees, up 24.96% from 29.13 rupees in FY24.
One more item from the P&L, other income. Was that significant, and how did it change?
Yes, other income was quite notable. For Q4 FY25, it was 9.32 crore rupees, a substantial jump from 2.61 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. That's a year-over-year increase of over 257% for the quarter. Sequentially, it was up 41.21% from 6.60 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. For the full year FY25, other income was 29.80 crore rupees, nearly double the 15.05 crore rupees in FY24. This certainly contributed to the overall profit growth.
Wow, a big jump in other income. Let's shift to profitability insights. What can you tell us about the margins like the derived EBITDA margin and net profit margin?
Looking at the derived EBITDA margin for Q4 FY25, it was around 19.98%. This is slightly down from 20.82% in Q3 FY25 and very close to the 20.02% in Q4 FY24. For the full year FY25, the EBITDA margin improved to 20.41% from 18.44% in FY24. As for the net profit margin for Q4 FY25, it stood at 11.92%. This is an improvement from 10.78% in Q4 FY24 and also up from 11.79% in Q3 FY25. For the full year FY25, the net profit margin was 11.84%, up from 10.33% in FY24. So overall margin improvement, especially on an annual basis.
Good to see those margins holding up and improving. Were there any exceptional items reported during the quarter or year that might have influenced these numbers?
No, the financial results do not list any exceptional items for the quarter or the year ended March 31, 2025. This suggests that the reported profits are from their regular business operations, giving us a cleaner picture.
That's good. Now let's turn to the balance sheet. What are some of the key highlights or changes as of March 31, 2025 compared to the previous year?
Looking at the balance sheet, total equity increased to 1,402.49 crore rupees from 1,267.14 crore rupees a year ago, which is a positive sign. On the asset side, property, plant and equipment saw a slight decrease to 1,012.50 crore rupees from 1,055.62 crore rupees. Inventories also decreased to 164.78 crore rupees from 171.97 crore rupees. However, trade receivables increased to 230.65 crore rupees from 221.73 crore rupees. A notable change is in cash and cash equivalents, which rose to 48.78 crore rupees from 30.37 crore rupees, and bank balances other than above, which often includes fixed deposits, saw a very significant jump to 155.28 crore rupees from just 1 crore rupee in the previous year. On the liabilities side, deferred tax liabilities net increased. Trade payables saw a slight increase. Overall, total assets grew to 1,788.85 crore rupees from 1,583.62 crore rupees.
That huge jump in bank balances other than above is interesting. What about cash flows? What did the cash flow statement for the full year reveal? And any news on dividends?
For the full year FY25, net cash flow from operating activities was 263.10 crore rupees, which is a bit lower than the 274.79 crore rupees in FY24. Net cash used in investing activities increased to 195.54 crore rupees, up from 121.46 crore rupees used in FY24. A major component here was an increase in fixed deposits, as we saw on the balance sheet, amounting to an outflow of 153.71 crore rupees for FY25 under investing activities. Purchase of property, plant and equipment was lower this year at 47.69 crore rupees compared to 122.32 crore rupees last year. Net cash used in financing activities was significantly lower at 49.15 crore rupees compared to 140.14 crore rupees in FY24. This was mainly because FY24 saw a large repayment of borrowings, which wasn't replicated to the same extent in FY25. And yes, on dividends, the board has recommended a final dividend of 10 rupees per equity share of 2 rupees each for the financial year 2024-25. That's a 500% dividend, subject to shareholder approval, of course. The dividend paid out during FY25 was around 51.13 crore rupees, similar to the previous year.
A handsome dividend recommendation. Now, regarding business segments, does Alkyl Amines operate in multiple segments, or is it primarily focused?
According to Note 6 in the results, the company's business activity falls within a single operating segment, which they identify as specialty chemicals. So our entire discussion about the company's performance pertains to this single segment.
Okay, so no segment-wise deep dive needed. So to summarize the performance, what are the key takeaways for the quarter and the full year?
For Q4 FY25, we saw good year-over-year growth in revenue, PBT, and PAT. Sequentially too, there was positive momentum in revenue and PAT. For the full year FY25, the company delivered strong growth across revenue, EBITDA, PBT, and PAT with improved margins. The significant increase in other income also played a part. The balance sheet shows growth in assets and equity, and a healthy increase in cash and bank balances, particularly fixed deposits.
Were there any other significant notes or events mentioned in the report apart from the financials and dividend?
Yes, a couple of appointments. The board approved the appointment of Aneja Assurance Private Limited as internal auditors for 3 consecutive years, starting from FY 2025-26. They also approved the appointment of Messrs. P. Mehta and Associates, practicing company secretaries, as secretarial auditors for 5 consecutive years, also commencing from FY 2025-26, subject to shareholder approval. Another point to note, which is standard but important for interpreting quarterly figures, is that the figures for the quarter ended March 31, 2025 and March 31, 2024 are balancing figures. This means they are derived by subtracting the unaudited year-to-date figures of the first 9 months from the audited full-year figures.
Right, that's a common practice. Now a crucial part, the auditor's report. Who are the auditors and what was their opinion on these financial results? Any qualifications or concerns raised?
The statutory auditors are Messrs. N.M. Raiji and Company Chartered Accountants. They have issued an unmodified opinion on the audited financial results for the quarter and year ended March 31, 2025. This means that, in their opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view and are prepared in all material respects in accordance with the applicable accounting standards. There are no qualifications or adverse remarks. They do have an other matter paragraph which clarifies the nature of the quarterly figures being balancing figures as we just discussed. This is a standard disclosure and not a concern. So it's a clean audit report.
A clean chit from the auditors is always reassuring. So based on these results and the audit, what's the general outlook for Alkyl Amines? Any potential risks to keep in mind?
The company has shown a strong financial performance in FY25, with growth in revenue and profits, improved margins, and a healthy balance sheet. The consistent dividend payout is also a positive. The outlook seems stable, driven by its position in the specialty chemical segment. Potential risks, as with any chemical company, would include volatility in raw material prices, competitive pressures, regulatory changes related to the chemical industry, and broader economic conditions affecting demand from its end user industries. And of course, our standard disclaimer: this discussion is for informational purposes only. Investors should conduct their own due diligence and consult with certified financial advisors before making any investment decisions.
Absolutely. So to conclude, Alkyl Amines has delivered a robust set of numbers for Q4 and especially for the full year FY25, with growth across key metrics, improved profitability, and a clean audit report. The dividend recommendation is also a positive takeaway for shareholders.
Precisely. It appears to be a solid year for Alkyl Amines Chemicals Limited, with good operational performance and financial health evident from these results. The significant increase in fixed deposits also suggests a strong cash position and perhaps prudent treasury management.
Great analysis, as always. That's all the time we have for Alkyl Amines today.
Thanks. And to our listeners, if you found this helpful, don't forget to follow our podcast for more financial deep dives.